All right, everybody, welcome to NorCal Sports Network. And this is the same hat that Brock Purdy's dad wears. Chat loves it when Marty Lurie comes on.
Anytime you lose a game this time of year, when you can't go backwards, it's a problem.
All right, welcome on in to NorCal Sports Network. We got ourselves a World Series, people. 2-2 in Toronto. Bounces back after a very tough loss in Game 3. And they bring out their bats tonight, score 4 in the, is that the 6th or the 7th? Got to go look it up. But Blue Jays played well tonight, got good pitching. They were able to get to Shohei late as he tired out. And we'll break it all down for you. But Giants win it. Blue Jays. I'm looking at myself with my hat. Blue Jays win it 6-2. And we're going to go back to Toronto, everyone. But first, let us thank our sponsor of this show, Chapman Law Group. Chapman Law Group, located in Marin, licensed in all of California. Make sure you give Chapman Law Group a call for all your legal needs. 415-613-9483. Let them know NorCal Sports Network sent you. Make sure you call them for that personal injury that you hope never happens, but you or a loved one or a friend know of got a personal injury. Give Chapman Law Group a call. They will take care of you. 415-613-9483. All right, Dallas should be joining us shortly. But, wow, we got ourselves a series. And tomorrow night is going to be crucial. The Dodgers are going to have to get that one tomorrow night, right? Game 5 in L.A. Blake Snell on the mound going against Trey Savage, Game 1 starters. So it's in L.A. tomorrow, Game 5, and then a rest day on Thursday. And then Thursday, like say, travel day, back to Toronto for Game 6. Who's going to be up 3-2? Is it going to be the Blue Jays or is it going to be the Dodgers? And that is going to be the story, right? That's going to be the story. Who goes in Game 5? This is a terrific World Series, everyone. This is, Toronto is a different team. You can see that these guys can hit, and it's very, very anybody's series, right? I mean, the Blue Jays showed me something tonight because it was a must win, right? Blue Jays cannot go into Game 5 down 3-1 facing Blake Snell after losing a heartbreaker in Game 3, right? I mean, that was an all-time classic. So this is a team that's very toughly built. You could see it in their manager, John Schneider. These guys take on the persona of them. And how about those Dodger fans exiting early again? What is it with Dodger fans that show up in the second, third inning and then leave generally in the 7th or 8th? And now you're in a World Series. Come on. It's a World Series. You never know what can happen. You just watched an 18-inning epic game last night. You never know what you might miss. I understand the traffic at Bracua. I get it. I used to live down there, but you know what? If I'm going to go to a World Series game and get there late and leave early, I'd just rather watch it on TV. You know, why do I want to subject myself to all that traffic if I'm not going to just sit there and just ride it out, just ride the thing out? But man, this Blue Jays team, something else, and they may get George Springer back tomorrow night, according to what they were saying tonight. Is he could show up. So if Springer's in there, and he's healthy enough, that changes the whole lineup. And Blake Snell, they got to Blake Snell pretty good in Game 1, right? So we'll see if Game 5 goes anything like Game 1, where Toronto scored 11 runs. Toronto has not really been held down by anybody in this series except Yamamoto, right? In game 2. He's the only guy that's really stifled their bats as far as starting pitching. I mean, they got to Snell. They got enough runs off of Glasnow last night, and tonight they got to Ohtani. If we want to look at Ohtani's line, let's take a look here. Hold on one second. Okay, are we good? Let me see. Where's my – all right, let me get my box score up here. All right. Ohtani went 6 innings, gave up 4 runs, 6 hits, 4 earned runs, and he gave up the runs. What got to Ohtani was that 7th inning when Ohtani couldn't get out of that inning. Gave up a total of 4 tonight. Banda gave up the other 2 in that 7th inning. The 7th inning was the magic number tonight. In game 1, it was the 6th. Ohtani 0 for 3 tonight with how many strikeouts? Why is my ESPN box score? I need to go to another box score. Let me go to MLB. What's going on here? MLB. Let me get to the box score there, because I thought Ohtani struck out all 3 times he was up tonight. I'm not looking at the chat, guys, while you're probably in there. Come on, give me a box score. Gee. All right. I can't find the stinking box score. How many times did Ohtani strike out tonight? I know it was 2, but I thought it was 3. Let's just do this. Let's just look up. We'll go here. And we'll go here, and we'll get to the box score. Come on. No, I don't want to watch. I don't want to watch. Geez, you think it's just box. Like, give me the dang box score. I want the box score, MLB. There we go. All right, Ohtani. It was two strikeouts. Okay. So, no, I'm looking at game 1. Jeez. Give me mini. This is ridiculous. Give me game. What was yeah, why don't you put this instead of the date, game 4, please? All right. Sorry, guys. They're just whatever. How many times did the guy strike out tonight? Somebody help me out in the chat. Just 2. Thanks, Mark. Thank you, chat. When I'm stuck, help me out, please. I can't find the doggone box score on MLB. ESPN is stupid, and that stupid network is. They can't even put how many times a guy strikes out in their box score. Give me a break. It's one of the most important parts of the game. You got at bats, runs, hits, RBIs, home runs, base on balls, and average. Give me the K rate. I want to see Ks. Ridiculous. All right. So we've got, I guess Dallas won't be here tonight. I thought he would join me, which keeps me going. I can do other things while he's talking. It's hard to run a show solo. I could tell you that. When you're running the board, you're trying to look at everything. It's not easy to do. So Tony V has champion blood. Yeah, we'll get into that. Hey, guys, Thursday, you'll want to be here if you're around at noon. I'm going to have a special guest, Tony Basilio from Knoxville, Tennessee. Big sports guy in the Knoxville area with the University of Tennessee and radio sports show. He will join us, which should be right after the Tony Vitello. Here I am pronouncing Vasello and Basello. Tony Vitello press conference, which is at 11 o'clock on Thursday. So we'll have Tony Basilio on at noon here on NorCal Sports Network to talk about the Tony Vitello hiring. So, but this World Series is going to get very interesting, guys. It's going to get very interesting because it's going to be, down. It's a best of three now. It's a best of three series because right, and Toronto has two of them at home. So, are they able to get Game 5? If they do, wow, that would be huge. Wouldn't that be something if Toronto gets Game 5? Let me just all right. So, yeah, Toronto getting Game 5 would be huge. But they were down 3-2 against Seattle and went home. And the Blue Jays at home, they play well. They hit better. This is a team that can score from 1 through 9. You look at their lineup, okay? You look at their lineup 1 through 9. And you've got Lucas leading off with 2 hits. Guerrero batting second, 2 hits. Bichette, 1 hit. Barger batting cleanup, 2 hits. Kirk was the only one that didn't get a hit. Him and, well, I guess Isaiah Kiner-Falefa both were 0 for 4, but Varsho 1 for 5. Ernie Clement 2 for 4. Andres Jimenez 1 for 3. 11 hits to the Dodgers, 6 hits tonight. So this is pretty good hitting by this team. They got very, very good pitching out of their starter tonight, Shane Bieber, former Cy Young Award winner. He looked good tonight. Only gave up 4 hits, 1 earned run in 5 1/3 innings. They needed that big time. And then the bullpen guys that didn't go too much last night, you had Fluharty, who came in and pitched great in his 2/3 of an inning, got out of a little bit of a jam, and then Bassett went 2, and then Varland went 1. So guys are restored that didn't pitch tonight. The Dodgers only had to go with Banda, Trinan, and Dreyer. The 3 guys I said, well, there was 4. Kershaw was the other one. They used 3 of the 4 guys they could have used last night. I don't know that kid Will Klein that pitched 4 really good innings last night, if he'll be available if needed tomorrow. He threw over 70 pitches. He's probably not available until Game 6 is my guess. Jim, thanks for asking. I'm doing well. Thank you. Appreciate that. Feeling good. Thank you. Beto says, let's go Blue Jays. I'll just call it Blue Jays. How's that, Beto? Almost got me on a slip there. Hey, you got to love Mookie Betts, right? And we welcome into the studio from Sacramento's finest, Dallas Helliker. Welcome in, Dallas.
Hello. How's it going?
Good. Yes, we're doing good. We got an even series now.
We still got a series. That's great.
It's nice to see. If Toronto, we talked about last night,
Yep.
lost tonight, we felt they were done. Now it's a best of 3 with 2 games potentially. If you go to 2 of the 3 are in Toronto.
Right.
Toronto gets tomorrow night's game, and they got to be feeling really good to get the middle game after losing in LA, the middle game in LA after losing a heartbreaker.
Yeah, it would have been devastating if they didn't bounce back and win today. Then it would have been, it just wouldn't have worked. It would have been tough.
Yeah.
So they did what they had to do. The pitching was good, and that was what I was worried about, is that they exhausted 10 pitchers in the previous game, and so you didn't know who was going to pitch and how it was going to work, and but they did well. So,
Mark
Great
Graves says,
game.
"Isn't it 2-3-2?" Yes. I didn't. Did I give any vibes or off that it was
No, so basically what
not?
you're saying is that there's only one more in LA and then you got two at home. So there's three
Yeah.
games left and the Blue Jays have home field advantage basically.
Right. Blue Jays have game 6 and 7 in their pocket. Ideally, I think obviously they don't want to go back to.
It's not in their pocket.
I said in Toronto tomorrow. Maybe I said that earlier. I didn't mean it. If I did, I know it's in LA tomorrow. It's definitely in LA. Games 3, 4, and 5 LA Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, tomorrow night, and then Thursday's an off day. Friday night in Toronto, game 7 Saturday night if necessary. We'll find that out, right? Will it be necessary? I got a feeling this thing looks like a 7-game series the way it's going. I don't think, don't think LA goes back to Toronto down 3-2 and wins 2. That would be, they could do it. I mean, if any team could do it, all right. I mean, these clearly are the two best teams.
Blue Jays win tomorrow, then I think they go home the favorite to win the World Series.
Yes. But
needing only 1 out of 2 at home.
We know this Dodger team is capable of turning it on and blitzkrieging you, right? I mean, it can happen. Both these teams are clearly the best 2 teams in baseball. We actually got ourselves a really interesting World Series. I was kind of rooting for Seattle, but looking back in hindsight, Seattle wouldn't have been able to perform like this against LA. They struck out way too much just against Toronto. They were just looked bad. They struck out double digits a lot in that 7-game series. And I don't think they would have been a match. So this is a really good setup. I mean, the only thing that I would caution the Blue Jays, or I said the Dodgers, if it goes 7, you're going to have Glasnow pitching game 7. But I imagine you're going to have a somewhat rested Ohtani able to pitch. I mean, look, tonight was Tuesday,
game
right?
7, Ohtani will be available to pitch at least 3 innings.
Yeah, he'll be able to pitch at least 3 innings. Yeah, it's game 7 would be Saturday night. That would be through 3 full days of rest. So you're probably, looking at the only player that probably wouldn't be available is that would be Blake Snell. Because I don't think even on 1 day's rest, unless he gets knocked out of the box tomorrow early.
Yeah, Snell's going. Yeah, correct. He's going tomorrow, and then it'll be Yamamoto on Friday.
Yeah, Yamamoto. Now, if LA wins tomorrow night, they got to be feeling really good with Yamamoto going game 6.
Yeah. And I wonder, was last night Yamamoto's normal bullpen game? So when he warmed up in the bullpen last night, was that his normal in between starts work?
Let's see. He pitched game 2, which was Saturday. So last night was Tuesday. It's either Monday or Tuesday, bullpen work. Yeah. Probably yesterday.
Going to be he won't see any ill effects of having to pitch yesterday.
No. And he didn't even really pitch. He got hot maybe, but yeah. Jesus says, how big will this upset be? It'll be an upset, but I don't think it's as monumental as.
Would it be, not will it be? That's counting some chickens there that I don't feel comfortable with.
Oh, yeah. How big would this upset be? Yeah, would. There we go. It's probably better English. Would this be? Yeah, I think, it's not going to go down there as one of the all-time biggest upsets. It's not. I mean, Toronto is nothing to sneeze at. Hey, guys, I want to get your thoughts on this tweet that I put out earlier during the game. I want to see what your take is on it. Let me pull it up here, and I will show you what I'm talking about.
Bo Bichette, Slow Burner, says Bo is a Blue Jay for life, guaranteed. It might be. I hope not. I didn't realize he has the highest batting average with runners in scoring position this season.
He's been good. All right, take a look at this, guys. This is a Ernie Clement versus Matt Chapman, just in 25 season, not career, because Clement hasn't had as many at bats. He was kind of a platoonish guy and reserve, but last year's WAR a little better, more games, obviously, plate appearances, hits, home runs. Chapman still beat him pretty good. RBIs, Chapman beat him. Stolen bases, Chapman beat him. Batting average pretty significantly in Clement's column. On base percentage in Chapman. Slugging, Chapman. OPS, Chapman. OPS plus, Chapman. So here's my tweet. The Toronto Blue Jays versus the Giants. Obviously, Matt Chapman is better than Ernie Clement, but is he $23 million a year better? Chapman makes 25. Ernie Clement 1.7 million. Or 1.9, something like that, just under 2 million. Not even close, as you can see by WAR. He's not that much significantly better. Toronto let Chapman walk after the 23 season with the long-term plan of signing Guerrero and others to make them a World Series team. The Giants could have done the same thing last year and let Matt Chapman walk after the 24 season, put Casey at his natural position at third, and invested in starting pitching, and maybe been in a better position to go after Kyle Tucker this offseason, but they're now stuck with a player who signed for 5 more years, entering his age 33 season. They better win with Matt Chapman in the next 2 years, as the last 3 years will not age well, and Chapman may already have peaked. Think Evan Longoria 2.0, but Longoria was more productive than Chapman, but his decline began at age 30 and 31. I want to get your thoughts on that, because
the only argument about that is that Casey Schmidt was an unknown quantity at that point. They didn't know if he had it, they don't know what they know about him now.
Well, that's the problem though, Dallas, is you got to know your guys. The Jays let Chapman walk knowing they had Ernie Clement, who really wasn't anything spectacular, but they saw enough in him to say, hey, he can play the hot corner and he can hit better for average.
But
I think the Giants
uproar at that time. This was before they had signed Adames. This is before they had Devers. This is all they had was Matt Chapman on their team. That was their only player. If they had just let him walk because they didn't want to pony up the money and said, well, we're going to go with Casey Schmidt, this young guy that we've seen him a little bit at the big league level at that point. I think it would have been widely unpopular with the Giants fans. Now, would it have been a better decision in hindsight? Yes, it would. But I think at the time, in that moment, I think probably that they saw that as their only opportunity to at least retain a serviceable free agent that was kind of the leader of the clubhouse on that team. So, do I think the Chapman contract, did we overpay for him? Yes. Is it going to be bad at the end of it? Yes. Do I wish I could get out of it now? Yes. Do I think that Casey Schmidt is a comparable player at about a fifth of the price? Yes. So there's a lot of reasons to agree with your point there, but at the time, I don't know that they had all the same information that we have now.
Probably so. See some stuff in the chat. I love the Tony Vitello hiring as well. Jim, he says he thinks he lasts 10 years and wins 2 World Series with his energy and attention to detail will be infectious. Look, I can tell you this about Tony, and I listen. Go check out Drew Gilbert's interview. Who he was on with Alex Pavlovic and Cole Kuiper yesterday, I guess it was. They aired it.
Giants Talk on CSN Bay Area podcast. YouTube and
check that
podcast.
out. Really good interview. I think, look, guys, and I see some comments in here by this guy. Let's give him our nightly
CSN. I said CSN. I mean NBC.
Yeah, let's give our nightly award to this guy. He gets our clown comment of the night. All right, there you go. That's for you, G. Vragahazy, or however you pronounce it. Sorry if I butchered it. But come on, Dan. Tony V is a good college coach. This isn't college. Well, if you listen to the guys that know him well, Max Scherzer, many professional players in the game now, they think guys will love him. And they asked the question, what about older vets? And they said, well, they're actually closer to Tony's age than Drew Gilbert is. And he says they'll love him too because, hey, look, guys, people love guys who communicate, okay? Bottom line is major leaguers will be attracted to people who are upfront with him, tell the truth, and he knows the game of baseball, all right? One of the things that Drew Gilbert, what I loved what he said in the interview was Tony didn't give him any false hopes and promises of coming to Tennessee when he was recruited. He didn't say, okay, you're going to play right field and bat so-and-so, and he says, you're going to have to earn it. And that's what all players want. Because the moment a player feels like you're just giving them lip service and they will lose respect for you if they coaches that go, oh yeah, you're doing great, just hang in there. You're going to be you're just going to be fine. You're going to be no, you got to earn it. I love that answer. You got to earn it. That's what the Giants need is some accountability. Somebody that's going to say, hey, you're not doing your job, you're going to be sitting. There's no handouts here. So yeah, I think this is going to be a really good hire. I think after Thursday's press conference, people are going to get an idea of who Tony Vitello is. And the Giants, he's got energy. And it's one thing I got to commend Buster for. He didn't go status quo and just hire another major league manager that is going to be just another guy that sits in the clubhouse and or in the dugout and really doesn't do much. I mean, when it really comes down to it, is major league managing is one of the easier jobs than a head coach in football or head coach in basketball, because there's so much happening in a football game that you've got to prepare, and it's based on your calls that affect the outcome, your game planning, all of that. Baseball,
it's not so much X's and O's and it is philosophy.
It's philosophy and getting guys to play hard and keeping their head in the game.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. The more and more this has gone on, the more I like the move. So obviously it's still a big unknown. We're not going to know until they start lacing them up and playing the game. But I'm looking forward to watching this year more so than I would be if it was just some guy that had been doing it a million years. And, at this point, we kind of needed someone to, overturn the apple cart or whatever.
Yeah. I like this comment by Beto. Definitely Giants need much more than that, but hiring Coach V is a step in the right direction, in my opinion. Could it go wrong? Yes, but it's worth the risk. Absolutely. It's worth the risk. The Giants are 9 years of having one winning season and one playoff berth in the last 9 years. What do you want to do? Just run the status quo, average, whatever manager? This is a move to fire up, to light a fire under guys, and it may backfire. It very well may backfire, but you know what?
He thinks he's going to get more mileage out of the current roster than he did last year. If they change nothing, he thinks, he can get more out of what's there, but that's not enough. So in order for this move to be a success, the Giants need to make the playoffs. In order to do that, they need more pieces than they currently have. So yes, I think it's a great move. I think I think it's going to be a good move for the Giants, but there needs to be more additional moves. Otherwise, he's not going to have the pieces to be able to compete. So there's still more work to do. And once this World Series is over, they'll have a chance to start making some moves.
Bill M says there's no way it's going to backfire. I would agree. I don't think it does, Bill, but I only throw that out there just because we really don't know. If we're being honest, we don't know if it's going to be successful. We think it's going to be successful. All things point to this guy being a winner, right? He took a Tennessee program that was, guess what? It was a 500 program, a team that.
Yeah. And I do have a crystal ball in that closet back there. I don't. It's kind of buried. I'll have to dig it out, but we could check that later. But that's the only way we're really going to know.
Philip getting throwing some stuff out there toward the Dodger fans. Let's go on a Giants podcast and talk S to Giants fans. Wow, you guys got no balls. Look, I can't control the chat, and it says Dan, it's the SEC. Tennessee should be able to recruit. Well, it's a tough SEC when you have Auburn and Arkansas and LSU and Florida. A lot of those teams were much better. The point is that Tony took a program that was not even on the map when it came to baseball. I mean, Tennessee baseball was all in Nashville with Vanderbilt. That was the school for Tennessee baseball. And Tennessee Tony came in and turned the program in and turned them into national champions. So you can't say that this guy, you can't just dish this guy for being successful. I mean, the guy was hugely successful. So don't understand your comments of tearing a guy down because he was successful. Not his fault that it was at a level below the majors. Look, as I've said, coaches can coach. How about Travis Hunter, right? Number 1 overall pick in the NFL. Where was he a few years ago before he went to Colorado? Jackson State University. Why was he at Jackson State? Small time college, not even Division I football, right? Well, he was there with Coach Prime, and he went to Colorado, followed him, and just because guys are playing in small town. How about Larry Bird, Indiana State? One of the top 5 greatest basketball players, in my opinion, to ever lace him up in the NBA. He was at small Indiana State.
Yeah.
Back then, we used to look at those schools, those not even mid-major, smaller colleges, and laugh. And now, no one looks at that. There's guys that come from small schools. How about Jerry Rice, maybe the greatest football player of all time? Where did he go to college? Mississippi Valley State or something like that? I mean, who the heck are they? Have they ever even been to a regular bowl game before? I don't know. I mean,
there's all kinds of stories like that. But
exactly.
This guy is the best at what he does at his level, and he had ambitions to go to the big leagues, it seems like. And he was either going to make that leap with the Giants or he was going to make the leap with somebody else. And Buster rolled the dice and said, let's make that leap with us. And so I think, it's an experiment for sure. But, why the negativity at this stage, just so you can be proven wrong later, or if it does fail, you can say, I told you so. I don't know. I think wait and see is probably the best course of action.
Right. And where did my game go? Hold on here. There we go. Got a little NBA action going right now. Warriors, Clippers, back-to-back nights for the Dubs in
if this
San
is
Francisco.
Successful, you'll probably see more really successful college coaches, if it could be opening the door, so we'll see.
There we go. The worst thing the Giants could be is 81-81. Better time than ever for a riverboat buster to roll the dice. Yeah. And Tony's going to be so engaged. You watch Melvin over there, he would just be watching the game, and nothing against Bob Melvin. That's his personality. He was a very successful manager in the big leagues, 20th all time in wins. But this team needed to be huge shakeup. And if you just brought in another manager, say a Brandon Hyde or I don't know, for that matter, if you brought in Bruce Bochy, that's not going to change. Look, this team is underachieving. Dallas queued up. They don't have the horses, right? The Giants don't have the horses. So that sounded more like a something that didn't come out of the mouth, maybe the back end. Can we get the There we go. Yeah, the Giants don't have the horses to compete right now with the Dodgers and some of the other top teams. So what they have to do is they have to maximize, get the most out of some of their players that, your Jung-Hoo Lees, your Casey Schmitz, your rookies, your corner outfielders. I think he can even help a Matt Chapman if they bring in the philosophies that they're using at University of Tennessee for bat speed and helping these guys with some physical exercises to help the bat speed. Look, people say, "Oh, these veterans are not going to listen to these guys." You're nuts if you don't believe that.
They will do anything they can to get an edge, to improve, to get better. That just means more money for them next time it comes around.
I'm telling you, a Matt Chapman, if he can add 1 mile per hour to his bat speed, will make a huge difference in his production.
I would just like him to add 20 points to his batting average.
Yeah, that would be nice too. But that could all happen with bat speed. Because a lot of every mile per hour you lose in your bat speed, the ball travels 6 feet less further. If that makes sense, that's a weird way to say it, but it travels 6 feet less, roughly, is what I've heard. So you've got to have that.
Adames had a drop off in his bat speed this year. So back when we were looking at the metrics on, but the worst thing that can happen to the Giants is 81 and 81. 81 and 81 is not the worst thing that can happen. If the Giants don't get more pitching, it could be worse than that. And then, if there's an injury, there's always the injury bug. Somebody could get hurt, and then that could definitely affect the number of wins. So 81 is not ideal, but it could be. You don't want to say that it can't be worse because it's happened before. So hopefully it's 91 or 95 or whatever. But you're going to need arms to do that. Yeah.
So we're in the second quarter. Golden State up 33-25 over the Clips. Should be a I think this whole thing with the Giants next year, like you said, Dallas, if they don't have the horses, it's going to be worse, right? If they don't have, it's going to get worse. Wow, what a great block by Pods on a breakaway.
George Corey, Matt Chapman has plenty of bat speed. He just doesn't make any adjustments as opposed to swinging from his ass with 2 strikes. Well, also, when you don't hit the ball doesn't slow the bat down, so it is faster when you miss.
Yes. What was that comment by George? This one?
Yeah, that's what I just read.
Yeah. I think. Oh, come on, Post. You got to make that. You're 7 feet tall, dude.
Good point, Bill M. 47 is old, Not everyone's Verlander 42 or Scherzer 41 or Kershaw.
Wait. What do you say? Most major. Come on. I clicked on it twice. Hold on here. Most major league players are in early to late 20s, and then some are in their early 30s. Why would they not listen to a guy who's 47? Exactly. I mean, come on. These guys, the number one litmus test that everybody who makes that point about everyone who makes the point that people aren't going to respect this manager because he doesn't have any Major League Baseball experience, coaching, or playing is nuts. The litmus test is Buster Posey, a Hall of Famer who hired the guy, who obviously respected him enough to put his whole reputation on the line to hire him. And he obviously respects him greatly. And he's a guy that if you said, Buster, we're going to need you to play next year, there's no other options, he could go out there and have a hit 250. I can guarantee it, even at 37 and 4 years away from the game. If he worked all off season, he's only 37, Buster. So he hit 300 his last year in the bigs in 21. Mm-hmm. So Buster could still play. And what some of you guys don't realize is that the Giants players all, when Gabe first came here, they bought into Gabe and all of his staff's hard work and preparation and all the stuff that they were doing. The problem was Kapler was just war on everybody because he was not a great communicator. Tony's the opposite. Tony's got everything that Kapler has as far as preparation, the analytics. I mean, he's teaching it to these college players, helping them get drafted and go into the pros, but he's got a great personality. And so let me address a couple of comments in here. NorCal Sports Talk Live says the players will respect his authenticity. Exactly. Kapler had all the experience in the world, but was a faker than a $3 bill, and the players couldn't stand him. Yeah, exactly. They got tired of him. He wasn't, as I said earlier, authentic when telling players that you had to earn it. He would just beat around the bush and make players want to know. They just want to know, hey, where do I stand? They can handle the truth. Philip says, Dan, I'm going to draw you something for NCSN free of charge. All I ask is if you please share it with the chat when you get it. I'll do it next year. Okay. I'm not sure what draw you something. Maybe a logo or something. I'm not sure what it is, but appreciate it, Philip. I look forward to that. Yeah. How did Mattingly do as a Dodger manager? 483 winning percentage. There you go. Guys,
those were the good old days.
Alex, he's not just an energy guy. I mean, you act like he's on the those energy. What are those drinks? The ones that
Red Bull.
Red Bull, yeah. The guy can tone it down. He just gets excited when things happen, and he shows who he is. He's passionate, but he's also well thought of. He's not just some hyena barking and going nuts on everything. He's, it's like people's, if you watch Drew Gilbert get interviewed, you'd see that Drew Gilbert has the ability to just be calm and talk normal.
Yes, but he's actually not an insane person.
No, he's
very refreshing to see.
Yeah, and these people that think guys just work off their only emotions because you see a clip of him sliding into a team pitcher on the grass or jumping into the stands after a winning moment. It's like, you think he's running into the stands after every win of Tennessee? Come on.
Yeah.
He did it because it was a moment, and it was a wild, it was a game in the region, win the regionals or something to go to the World Series. And
sure. And there's going to be an adjustment to the big leagues, and he'll have to make that adjustment. But I think there will be some detractors that are won over on Thursday when they watch the press conference. And then some of them are going to have to wait till they actually start playing games. And that's fine. We can wait, because really not too much is going to change between now and the start of the season, other than what Buster and Zach are doing.
Okay. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that very much. Alex, I hear you. I'm not saying that, but it's what people think that way. Yeah, a lot of people do think that way, Alex. It's really strange how people are just, oh, so he's going to go back to college on a 5-game losing streak. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. The Major League managing pool has never been weaker. The options are out there are brutal. None of the lifers out there moves the needle at all. There's a reason the Yanks are afraid to move off Boone. Yeah,
that's true.
There's not a lot of great managers out there.
I mean, the other options were other guys that don't have any real big league managing experience. So I don't know.
Yeah, the Angels hired Kirk Suzuki on a 1-year deal. The Orioles, Craig Albertez, no managerial experience. Sure, he's got bench coach experience, all that helps. But look, you can have all the experience in the world, and if you don't have the horses, you're not winning. You can have zero experience and have the horses and win. Look, Dave Roberts got the Dodgers into a couple of World Series early on in his career. Why? It was because of Dave Roberts' crazy great skills? No, it had all to do with Dave Roberts having a lot of talent. In fact, some of his decisions, in fact, most of Dave Roberts' decisions, if you want to know the truth, were made probably from the front office telling him what to do. Like pulling guys out of games early. So I'm not buying into that one bit on that. It's talent that's going to win you the games. Well, the Warriors are playing well here 2 nights in a row. Let's see if they can get this one. Guys, any other comments that you got on this World Series? While we're talking World Series, we're talking some Giants baseball. Does this World Series go 7, everybody? Does somebody win the next 2 and win it in 6? I would think it'd be tough. I think if anybody wins the next 2, in my opinion, it would be the Dodgers. I would think they have the advantage with the pitching. But you are going to have Gausman in Game 6, Gausman Yamamoto, Game 6. So it could, yeah. I mean, the Dodgers have clearly the upper hand in Game 6 with Yamamoto. I mean, the guys had gone 2 straight games with.
But the interesting game, I think, is Game 5. Snell. What Snell's going to show up? He wasn't sharp as last time.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't sharp at all. The Blue Jays fouled off like 30 pitches off of Snell, which really kept the pitch count, pushed that up there and forced him out. The Blue Jays.
Yep. That's what they should have, the same mentality.
Yeah.
The guy can't go deep in games as much as he likes to think he can. And if you can get him out of the game, then you got a chance. But of course, the bullpen, that game, it took a toll on everyone's pitching staff. But the Dodgers bullpen, it was shaky at times, and they were really good yesterday. So it's just going to see, that's why you got to see
Alex
what happens.
He could be due for a bad game. Yeah. Due for a stinker. Your prediction that the Jays were dead was dead wrong. I think I may have. Did I say that at the beginning of last night's show? The Blue Jays are dead. I may have.
If they lost today, they were dead.
Yeah, I think I said that. I know I said that. If they lost today, they were dead for sure.
Yeah. Which they probably would have been. But I think the game to win is tomorrow, because Yamamoto has been lights out.
Yes. And this is true. Hope springs eternal brings up a good point. I actually went back and recorded I was going to put it out on Twitter. I recorded the Guerrero home run. There was not nearly the excitement for Guerrero's home run as anything Ohtani has done in the game. Ohtani, he just goes crazy, absolutely crazy. And he shows, I'm a little disappointed, to be honest with you, in Joe Davis, the Dodgers manager, because he is a younger guy. I always thought he was a pretty fair broadcaster and pretty good. But I think in this World Series, he's showing his homerism to me that he's definitely looking at the Dodgers as everything more favorable. So I'm a little, I really like the, I'm going to forget his name again. The Brewers announcer. We talked about this the other night. Why do Brian, what is his name? Brewers announcer.
Anderson.
Thank you. Brian Anderson. That guy had a tough assignment being the play-by-play guy for national TV, Dodgers and Brewers. And he watched his team, hasn't seen him get to the World Series, and they just laid an egg, right? They were awful, and he had to but you wouldn't have known he was the Brewers announcer. Like if you know that Joe Davis is the Dodgers announcer, you could tell. There's just so much gargling, googling and gaggling and just all over the Dodgers. It's pretty sickening. And for that, I think it would be nice just to see the Blue Jays win. Just to, all this Dodger broadcast, everything's Dodger, right? It's all about the Dodgers. There's little talk about the Blue Jays. Yep. And it's, I get it in a way because everybody, like the Dodgers, it was the same way with the Warriors when they had KD. Everybody was like, Warriors, right? Because they were the team to beat. They were the team that everybody saw as up here and everybody else down here. So you built it up. So to me, it's just, we'll see. I did love the call tonight, the almost double play of catching Isaiah Kiner-Falefa off of first when Muncy caught the line drive and threw to first. He was safe by that much. I'm not kidding. He was safe. His palm was on the bag. The ball was halfway into Freeman's glove, but not in the back of the glove.
Yeah, I just listened on the radio. I didn't see that.
It was so close. Here was his hand. He dove back in, and the ball was like right here. And his hand, the palm touched the glove, and then it went boom like that. I mean, split second. And I was very happy that baseball got it right. And they called that game because he was called out on the play. And it could have been easily upheld as inconclusive or whatever. I sleep with this. Exactly. I sleep with this glove and ball. I got to play Mookie Betts. I got to play this because to me, it was a hilarious take. And I retweeted it. I got to say, I kind of like Mookie Betts. He's a good guy. Listen to this comment, guys. This is pretty funny. He's got some comedian in him. You ready?
Get him from When you put your head on the pillow tonight, what will you think about? When you go to bed tonight, put your head on the pillow tonight, what will you think about Shohei? Will you think about Freddie? What jumps out at you?
I'm probably not going to think about another man while I'm in bed.
Fair enough. When you
I love it. I love it. Oh, that's hilarious, Mookie. You get a dumb question, you're going to get a smart ass remark comment back at you, right?
That's pretty good.
That was hilarious. I got to play that one more time because that was just too funny, because what that was, guys, is he didn't hear the question I think he was like, first of all, he was like, what'd you say? Kind of. And then he clarified it. And the guy's like asking him, this is after game 3 last night, the incredible 18-inning game. And Shohei and Freddie Freeman obviously came through. I think what the guy meant to say is, what do you think about when you think about Freddie Freeman? But he says it when you put your head on the pillow. Here we go. Let's play it one more time.
When you put your head on the pillow tonight, what will you think about? When you go to bed tonight, put your head on the pillow tonight, what will you think about Shohei? Will you think about Freddie? What jumps out at you?
I'm probably not going to think about another man while I'm in bed.
Fair enough. When you
Oh, yes. Way to go, Mookie, man. You gotta just love that. That was great. That was great. Good old Mookie Betts giving it back to the reporter. Yeah. So, yes, Bill, exactly what I was saying. Great response to a stupid question. I've been in the clubhouse being able to ask some of these guys questions, and I always want to make sure that I think my question through before I'm asking it. I'm rehearsing it, making sure it doesn't sound stupid. I'm never going to ask a player something stupid that's just, yeah. You generally want to ask intelligent questions about the game, or you don't want to just, yeah, it's nuts. I'm shocked at some of the reporters that get credentialed and are able to ask questions for a living. Just blows my mind. Yeah, exactly, Mark. Nice to see you don't have to be a sports guy to report on sport. It's like some of these guys that are just nerds walking around, and they're in the clubhouse, and they, you could tell these were some of the guys that got put in the trash cans in high school, right? Stuffed with their heads upside down, and they just wanted to become geek reporters. But my goodness. Let's see. Jeremy Lopez says, really bothered me how the media glazed over Klein's performance last night when Lauer's was more impressive, faced the better lineup. Yeah, that's true. Lauer was tremendous. He was absolutely tremendous. And they didn't even, yeah. It's all because of Joe Davis. Joe Davis was the announcer. So you're hearing from Joe Davis, who's a Dodger troll. Come on, let's admit it. I have always thought Joe Davis, I've always liked him and thought he was one of the better young announcers. I've just seen him troll too much for the Dodgers. And look, I'll call it like I see it. And I think he's really good for the Dodgers, and he's really good on national broadcast. But when he's broadcasting the Dodgers nationally, he lets his bias sneak in. He just does. And that you shouldn't do when you're calling the game nationally. So, yeah. Ooh, let's see. Don't talk about my pillows. How can you say that, Babe Rocks? Last night's game was rigged. How could you say the game was rigged? I don't see that. Pretty tough to rig a baseball game without it being obvious if an umpire is giving.
If I had rigged it, I would have rigged it to end sooner.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know how that game was rigged. As a Major League Baseball manager. Oh, the opposite. Has a Major League Baseball manager ever taken over a college program? Not sure.
I tried to Google it, and it doesn't want to tell me.
Yeah, Warriors just lost a big lead. Yeah, they're only up by 2 now. They were up 13. And get in there, Curry.
Oh, AI wants to talk about is Tony Vitello and Pat Murphy, which went from college ranks to the MLB, but I haven't found any that went from MLB to college. So
gotcha.
Not sure.
Yeah. Pat Murphy was at ASU and also Notre Dame, but he also was as a coach for like 10, 15 years in the bigs. So, nice, Harden. What kind of did you see the Giannis play tonight where he just completely walked and they don't even call it? Oh boy, here come the Clippers again with a chance to tie. So, well, when it's halftime, we'll end the show. It's only a little over a minute to go in the first half. Let's see. What do we got here in the chat? Why Dodger fans coping? Let's see. The Dodgers are planning for the next 7 to 10 years while the Giants are hiring a college coach. You really like talking about that. This is an obvious Dodger fan. Don't get your point with how do you know the Giants aren't planning for the next 7 to 10 years with Tony? That's
who should the Giants have hired? Who would have been your choice?
He's not a Giants fan, so he probably,
I'm not sure. I don't know exactly what the hangup is, but I mean, it's unproven, so we're going to have to wait and see. But if he's a Dodgers fan, what does he care? Doesn't he just want the Giants to be irrelevant? I don't understand.
That's right. Celts Chronicle, Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh also had some pro experience as an assistant NFL guy, but he was a Stanford head coach when.
Sure. But football is different. There's all kinds of crossover.
Yeah. Yeah, there is. He says he would have hired Albert Pujols or Mark DeRosa. Well, there's a couple of good guys.
Football, college is the minor leagues to pro football. You know, guys go from college to pro football. In baseball, that's not the case. College is one source of players in the draft, but there's several different ways to get players into your minor league system, and you have your own minor league system to train up your players and get them into the big leagues. And you kind of have your own system and do it your way. So it's a little different with baseball. Just the whole minor league system is different between baseball and football.
Yeah.
But also, college sports have changed now. There's a lot more similarities between professional baseball and college sports because of the money. The players are getting paid now. There's a lot of money in college sports, and they are basically professional athletes at this point. They choose where they go. They get paid. It's a lot more similar than it was 10 years ago, without a doubt.
Yeah. Padres may hire Albert Pujols. That's a possibility. Beto says, correct me if I'm wrong, but there are players that come from high school or college directly to MLB, right? Not often, but it happens. Oh, yeah. Like without any minor.
A lot of players get drafted out of high school.
Well, yeah, and they go into the minors, but he's talking about right into the major leagues. Not too rare. Not too often.
It's pretty rare.
Pretty rare. Yeah. I think, there's only been a couple guys that have done that.
Well, it's also a tough game to come out of high school and to be major league ready. I mean, it usually takes a few years in the minor leagues to even the fastest ones need at least a year or two of transition there. So, yeah.
Dodgers might as well have Chat GPT manage. What does Roberts do? Sirianni and Roberts are the most useless managers in sports. Yeah. Talking about Sirianni, the head coach of the Eagles. Yeah. That's pretty funny. Well, yeah. You may have, wouldn't it be interesting to have a manager that was totally AI for one season just to see how they performed? Like, somebody like the White Sox could do that. Why not? Could it be any worse?
It would be an improvement probably for some teams.
Yeah. Could you imagine? AI's the guy's
we may have actually had that with Farhan and Kapler. We just don't know.
Exactly. Good point. All right. Well, guys, it's we're just over an hour and 5 minutes. We've got game 5 tomorrow night. Who's going to win tomorrow? Let's get your comments in the chat. Let me see. Just give me a T or an L or a B and a D. I don't care. Or just type it out. Dodgers or Jays. Who wins tomorrow? Dodgers or Jays? Game 5. And to me, this is going to be the most interesting game of the series because game 5 winner, not sure. Can you look up the stats? They threw all these crazy stats out. Like the game 1 winner is like goes on to win it like 70% of the time. The game 3 winner is like 63%. I don't really care about that, but it is kind of interesting. I know
winner of game 5 in a best of 7 series has won the series 64% of the time since 1985.
All right. So nothing's marked in stone. Whoever wins game 5 does not mean they have it nailed down. But I would say this. If the Blue Jays win tomorrow, here's my prediction. If the Blue Jays win tomorrow, we're going 7. If the Dodgers win tomorrow, I think the Dodgers win it in 6 with Yamamoto. What do you think?
If the Dodgers win tomorrow, I think it's going 7 either way.
Let's hope. I would love a 7-game series.
I think you're right, though. No, if the Dodgers win tomorrow, then it's going 6 because you got Yamamoto.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
That's what it is. Yeah, you're right. If the Blue Jays win tomorrow, then it'll go 7. Most likely.
Yeah, unless Gosman pitches such a great game that they don't score too much off
duel type thing.
Yeah. But I think that's the way it goes. I think if the Dodgers win tomorrow, they get it done in 6. But Blue Jays win. Now watch it go completely the opposite. Dodgers win tomorrow, then the Blue Jays win in game 6, and we have a 7th game. I don't even know at this point who would win a game 7. Mark Graves, the one thing you got to be concerned about Gosman is the Dodgers, when he was with the Giants, had a game plan, and they would just lay off the split, and just make him come into the zone, and they would just smash him around. So we'll see how they do. He's got to – last game, he started with fastballs, and he was pumping fastballs the first time of the order, and the Dodgers were not ready for it, and he got through it pretty good. But if he goes the splitter and doesn't get it over for strikes or get the Dodgers to think it's a strike and chase, he's in trouble. And that's why the Dodgers, now the Dodgers hitting instructors are with the Blue Jays now. So Pop Popkins, and I can't remember the other guy's name, are with the Blue Jays. And it's interesting, but the Dodgers, let's just be real, Dallas, here. The Dodgers have been ahead of everybody when it comes to cutting edge of baseball, the change, the analytics, all of that. They have been ahead of everybody. And now the Blue Jays have their hitting instructors. And look I don't think it's coincidental that they went from a 74 and 88 team to a 94 win team and two games away from winning a World Series title. I think that is huge reason the Blue Jays have been successful. And, Blue Jays go from 74 to 88 in one of the toughest divisions in baseball. You figure you got the Yankees, the Orioles, who are down this year, but they'll be back, and the Red Sox, three really good teams. And then Tampa Bay sometimes can be pretty good. And so they go on and win that division, and they are right there on the cusp of a World Series championship. So to me, there's nothing that says the Giants and Tony Vitello can't go out and find coaches that are really on the cutting edge and helping players become better hitters and less strikeout, more contact. I mean, that game tonight, the Dodgers or the Blue Jays, I want to say it was their third run. It's either their third run or their fourth run. It was just a weak little ground ball to second base by trying to remember who was batting. It was a pinch hitter at the time. It was a pinch hitter that came in for the Blue Jays. It was France.
Yeah.
And he just came in and he just rolled the ball over just to get, and the run scored. And that's what you need. And that's the difference between a team that's just trying to make contact versus if you had a Matt Chapman up there or a Willie Adames, they wouldn't change their swing approach. They would be going for the fences. How about the one hit tonight by, was it Lucas? Or I can't remember who it was. It was a lefty, and he just poked the ball into left field, just went with the pitch, and he just, whoever it was, I think they knocked in a run with it. It was, who was it? Oh, it was Jimenez. I think it was Jimenez. He was batting left-handed, and he just poked the ball out there, didn't try, and he intentionally went to left field. You could see it. He totally went to left field on purpose just to knock in the run. It was beautiful. Is Snellzilla, Celts Chronicles. Good to see you, Rich, in the house. Is Snellzilla the worst nickname of all time? Yeah, I think that's a weird name. It is a weird name. Yeah. Snellzilla. No, that wasn't the one that went under Bet's glove, I don't think. I think it was just poked into left field, if I recall. I may be missing it. I can't remember exactly when it was. I got last night's two games, and tonight they all merged together, right? It was just so much baseball.
They were 27 pretty close innings together.
27 innings.
We're in the same day.
Yeah. Yeah. Popkins' secret is Pop Secret Popcorn. There we go. Popkins. Yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. To be fair, Snellzilla was his game tag when he was a kid. Of course, it's stupid, though. Yeah. That's funny. All right, guys. Let's get out of here, and then we will be back tomorrow night, guys, at right after Game 5, somewhere right around 8:15, 8:30. We'll be back, depending on the game. Well, as soon as the game's over, guys, we're on it. We're ready to rock and roll.
11:50 if it goes 18.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to go watch the Dubs take on the LA Clippers for the second half. And you guys have yourself a great one. Hey, make sure if you haven't done so already, really would appreciate it if you would smash that like button. Thank you so much in advance. Hit that like button. Don't just
click it. You have to smash it.
Yeah, you got to just drill it. You got to beat the heck out of it. Let me see how many likes we got. I got to go onto my phone here and look. and see exactly how many likes we've got
You see
right
here,
now.
if you do this, that's not good enough.
All right, yeah.
Not good enough. You have to really smash it.
We got 28. Let's get that thing up to 50 real quick. If everybody would do us on YouTube, and if you're over on X watching, thank you. Thank you. Give it a like over on X. We're at 29 now. Let's see if we can get to 50 likes. That would be fantastic. It does help the show push it out more. And hey, look, we're a Giants station, but we love baseball, and we love what's going on. World Series last night was an all-time classic. I love watching good baseball, and we've seen good baseball. And guys, I'm not going to lose any sleep if the Dodgers win the World Series, and I'm not going to probably have that much of a better life if they lose. It really. I'm a fan of the game. I love sports, but there's a lot more things I love.
Be a little bit better though.
Be a little better, sure, but it's not going to be like, I'm going to wake up and I'm still going to have a bad hip, right? That needs surgery on December 3rd. And I'm still going to have a hard time walking around, and I still got to pay my bills, and I still got to go make money, and I still got to be kind to my wife, which is fun to do. It's not hard. She's a great lady, but all those things in life that are more important than a game. Sure, we'll have fun if the Dodgers lose, and we'll enjoy it. But if they win, we'll congratulate them and say, we got to be better to beat them, right? That's how it goes. So that's my final thoughts for the night. We'll see you guys tomorrow night. Thanks for watching. Really do appreciate that. We're up to 33 likes, by the way. So, Dallas, final word?
Hopefully the Jays can win tomorrow. Important game for them because Yamamoto is not going to be a picnic.
Yeah.
Well, of course, Snell won't be either. So,
yeah.
But you got to pick your poison.
Yep. All right, guys. The Jays are sending a rookie who started the season in A-ball tomorrow night.
And watch out for this guy.
Shohei Ohtani.
There we go. Try that. Shohei Ohtani. I don't think I can get that one down. Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
Shohei Ohtani.
There you go.
Hope says thank you, Dan and Dallas. Thank you, Hope. Appreciate all you guys in the chat. Beto. Duck the Dodgers. That's pretty good. All right. Trolls will disappear if the Dodgers lose. Oh, hey, Epakua, Epar. I'm butchering it again. I can't remember. I got to put it out on my list here. We appreciate you being in here. Win, lose, rain or shine. You're a trooper. We know the Dodgers. There's out there trolls, but you're here. Rain or shine. We appreciate that. Monster Slam. You remember that one, huh, Rich? That was when I was on the Krug show and I did a Monster Slam calling the Warriors game in the playoffs. It just burst out. I did a Dave Fleming. Oh, Monster Slam! Yes, that was on Andrew Wiggins. In fact, I got that poster right here, guys. There it is. See it? There it is. Right next to the Golden Gate. But that is the Monster Slam. Andrew Wiggins over Luka Doncic. Yes. I had to order that. That was such an awesome memory. 49er Red Zone. It's great to have you here. Talk baseball. Danny and Dallas, thank you. All the best. Thank you, too.
Good to be here.
You too, up, Kerr. All right, guys. Good to see Rich from Celts Chronicles. Go check out Celts Chronicles on YouTube if you like 49er content. Rich does a great job, just like that spelling there. Celts Chronicle. YouTube does great 49er work. And we'll appreciate all you guys being in here. And we will see you tomorrow night after Game 5. Have a good one, everybody.
Out of here!
Music's long tonight. I think it's ending.